Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Bird Brothers podcast. I am your host, Falcon, and joined as always by the majestic Condor. Condor, how are you doing today?
I'm to be honest with you, Falcon, I'm a little tired, so if I'm a little low energy today, I apologize. At the time of this recording, I'm only on 3 hours of sleep. I did not sleep very well, and I worked a very hard shift yesterday, so that might be affecting me. But I am ready to talk about this anime, this series. Falcon, what series are we reviewing? Don't even
Today,
answer that. The one we are reviewing is We Never Learn Boku Ben. This is my recommendation. The reason that I recommended this, the reason why I recommended this is because it was a manga I was reading for a while. I don't really read much manga these days, so the ones I do keep up with are pretty cool. This was one of them, and I really did like it for like the things it did. I mean, it's just typical like harem anime, but at the same time, I just feel like it does slightly different things than most ones.
Mhm.
But we'll get more into that later. Would you like me to read the synopsis, Falcon?
Go for it.
Okay, the synopsis for We Never Learned. Plot. The main character, Naruyuki, works hard every day to obtain a full college scholarship by his high school to support his poor family. His headmaster promises that he will get it if he fulfills a small condition. He has to tutor two resident female geniuses, Fumino Furuhashi, literature genius, and her friend Rizu Ogata, science genius, so that they can get into their dream college. The catch is that Fumino wants to major in science even though she's good at literature, and Rizu wants to major in literature even though she's good at science. The two girls are failing constantly in the majors they wish to pursue. That's basically like the synopsis of the first episode, basically
Yeah.
bringing us into like the show. So basically, you got the main character who's overall genius. Oh, not genius. He's just a really hard worker, and he has to study. No, wait, was it
He has
teach?
to. He has to
Sorry,
tutor. He has to tutor.
tutor. Thank you. My mind. It's gonna get up. There's gonna be a lot of those today.
Mhm.
He has to tutor the two geniuses in the subject. They're like both the one they're worst at, even though the other one's better than that. You know what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, okay, this is kind of like an interesting concept, another study anime. I mean, I feel like studying animes are pretty cool because sometimes when they're not focusing on the cute girls and the etchy moments, they sometimes like to teach us new like cool like facts or something, like
Mhm.
cool study
Yeah.
techniques. Like there's this one in a part where it's true when you're doing something like you really love, you're better at memorizing it. So if you use and you put studying into that, like the one with the girl in the pool, studying, remembering the English words,
Mhm.
sometimes when you do something like that, it's pretty cool. So I like shows that like teach you like real life applications and stuff. And this could be considered one of them as well. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, it's basically a good synopsis. Wouldn't you say, Falcon?
Yep. Pretty much. Poor guy who studies really hard wants to get a recommendation so he can essentially go to school for free. He can get that as long as he can get these geniuses to get average grades in their worst subjects because that's what they actually want to go to college for. That's pretty much it.
And you think, oh, it can't be too bad. They get literally 2s and 3s in the
Yeah.
beginning on
They're not
their
even
practice
getting double
tests.
digits. Like it's bad.
It's really bad. And then when you think they're making progress, they go right back down. And it's
Go
like, oh
right
wow,
back down.
okay.
Like you got a 40, then the next time, why did you get a 4? It's like, oh, then. But yeah, I guess we should segue over into the characters then. And
Woo!
are we going to start with our boy Yuiga, or are we going to talk
We
about the waifus
we
first?
will talk about the boy Nariyuki,
All right,
the man with
Nariyuki
the plan and the clean
Yuiga.
cut, right, Falcon?
No, his hair is the worst part about him. I do not like
What?
it. It is. I get it's supposed to be a cowlick, but the way they draw it most of the time, it just looks dumb. It's not consistent. Sometimes it's more rounded. Sometimes it's more I don't know. I don't like it. Ugh. But anyway, that is not important except for slight annoyance.
Yeah, it's just his style. Nothing against him as a character.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, we have
Um,
main character Yuiga Nariyuki. He's basically a hardworking, overall good guy. He's probably one of the most goodest guys I've seen in an anime. That's not like an action, because you know how most action animes are just like, oh, I'm gonna literally fight to die for you and stuff like that.
mhm.
You know, like One
Yeah,
Piece and Naruto and stuff like that. But obviously, there's nothing like that in this because this is more like a real life setting show. So there's nothing like high stakes or drama like that. This is basically the guy who will literally go the extra mile and will sacrifice sleep just to help you achieve your goals. He's a hardworking, loving guy.
mhm.
Basically, when he was younger, he has a little backstory. It's not like super good, but the message is like really important. Basically, it's he wasn't really good at studying, and he was always upset, and he felt like his father was gonna be mad at him. And his father was like, you don't worry about that. Just keep trying your best and just be there for the people who can't be there for the people who are basically useless, and try to understand from their perspective and try to help them, which is a really good advice that his father gave him. But unfortunately, his father did end up passing away 5 years before the events of the show. Yes, there's a timeline for that. I looked at it. Basically because of that, he started working harder, and he became a better studious person in school. He's a very caring person, and basically, as we mentioned, his ultimate goal is to get a scholarship. That way he can get into college for free and help support his family, who are living really poorly, by the way. And his family consists of 2 sisters, a brother, and his mom.
Yeah, he's got like a middle school age younger sister, and then
who is in love with him.
Yeah, who has a total brother complex. And let me just say, I wish she was in the show more, because she was consistently the funniest character whenever she was around. And we see her like maybe 3 times throughout both seasons. I thought that was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, she wasn't really that much.
I mean, I feel like we saw her more in like the like commercial break scenes of like, especially in season 1, where like she sees like he's got these like Maid Cafe tickets, and it's like, brother, are you into May? Like, I love those little moments they had with her in there. But
I love those. I think in the manga, those were scenes that were like right after like the chapter was ended, so that's why they show it.
That makes sense. But yeah, so otherwise it's important to note, we kind of hit it a little bit, but he wants to get into school for free, and he's wanting to get into school so badly because his mom is working as a single mom at just like a retail store, so they really don't have money to support the 4 kids. And he wants to make sure his family can be financially stable after he's out of school and has a job. He wants to be able to support them and take care of them. So that way they don't have to worry about anything. Like, even their houses, this like old traditional house, it's got holes in the walls, both inside and outside, like really just run down.
Yeah, like when they first show his house, they show him walking, and there's like all these nice houses around, that he turns to his house and it's all like broken down, running. I think there's some holes in it.
Yeah.
It's not really the best house. It's the cheapest one they can afford, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's what they can afford, so that's what they live in. And none of them ever complain about it. Like, you never hear like any of them complain about it, which I thought was nice. Like, they're all like, yeah, this is where we live, no biggie. Yeah, he's really great. He's good at I think one of the characters phrases it as he takes up everyone else's burden and holds it on his back for them. So even though he starts, so even when he starts like tutoring people, he does it originally just because he wants the recommendation, but then he actually starts like, no, okay, I want you to succeed in what you're wanting to do. I believe in you. How can I help you? So he's making all these notebooks for them for things they need to focus on and why they're not getting this or that, and he goes the extra mile trying to help them out, while trying to juggle his. Yeah, there's numerous times you see everyone else is asleep and he's still up studying because he has to study for himself, to get that. I think what was it, consistently 80% across the board is what he was aiming for. Yeah, Naruyuki's great. I feel like he's a great main character, especially for this kind of show.
Amazing main character. Now, real quick, I just want to mention, it's not that much of a spoiler, but it's usually a main character has like a something they need to work on themselves. And the anime didn't really do a good job at this, but if you notice, you kind of notice that he doesn't really have a goal to strive for. You just see him just like just helping everybody else. And like the show does mention it, like I think at late season 2 or late season 1, I forget one, but they're like, hey,
I think it's like mid season 2. They're like, oh, what are you doing? And he just kind of like skirts around the subject.
He just kind of blanks it. He's just like, I don't know what I want to do. But that's more relevant later in the series. We're not going to talk about it, and we'll probably talk about it in spoilers. But basically, that's his like main character problem. Well, I wouldn't call it character problem, more like something he needs to work on himself to be a better character. Yeah.
One other thing to note, I like that he wasn't overly perverted. It seems like most harem characters are like super perverted most of the time, and he didn't seem that way.
Just a little bit
he's
perverted.
Slightly, but I mean no more than like any high school guy is. Like all high school guys are a little bit. It's just whether they're like a little bit or like mega is the question of that. But he wasn't constantly going out of his way to try to like perv on people. Nope. Which I appreciated from a character.
I figured you would really like that. He's a very polite guy. If he sees something that he shouldn't see, he'll apologize very profusely.
It's weird because I like harems because I like trying to figure out what girl they're going to end up with. It's like a mystery to me. It's like, okay, who's it going to be? And a lot of them have different flags and whatnot where it's usually obvious, but I like to figure out if I'm right or not. But here, like, I usually get annoyed with like, they'll just get super pervy. And it's like, I don't like this guy. I don't want him to end up with any of them. But yeah, like this was nice because he wasn't. And I feel like each character kind of had a better balance of him possibly being able to end up with them. It didn't follow the typical like harem flags a lot of the time. And later on, it didn't. At the start, it's very much the same kind of harem-y formula. But
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, we should talk about the waifus next.
Oh boy,
and
we
which
got
one do you want to
waifus.
start up with?
I guess we should talk about the order that they appeared in the show. So I guess we should talk with Ogata first. I think Ogata
Okay.
was before Fumino.
I think they kind of appear in the same scene, but we get more focus on Ogata first. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about Ogata. All right. So Rizu Ogata. She is a mathematical genius, but she wants to go to school for the humanities. She is the daughter of a ramen shop owner, and let's just say Rizu's dad is one of the best side characters ever. He's
How
great.
dare you talk about my Rizu goddess like that?
But she's very introverted, very shut off. She doesn't understand emotions very well, so she doesn't interpret situations correctly most of the time. But yeah, that's why she wants to go to humanities. You find out she kind of wants to understand like psychology so she can understand people better, because she just doesn't understand people, and she thinks that will help her out, but she's just really, really bad at it. When she can look at a math problem and the teachers always scold her for not showing her work, which doesn't have to. She just sees it and knows the answer, and it's like, there's your answer. Why do I have to tell you how I got it? And that's just what it is.
She always likes to talk with like really like high strung mathematical terms. Like sometimes she'll say like picometer. Did you watch the anime subbed or dubbed?
I didn't know there was a dub. I only watched it subbed.
I didn't know if there was a dub. I watched it subbed on Crunchyroll.
But yeah, I saw it on Crunchyroll, and that was the first link that it brought up, so that's just where I watched it.
Okay, cool. I think there might be a dub, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I can look that up. But yeah, I sometimes she'll say like terms like picometer. I don't even know what that means, but I think it's like some type of mathematical word to means like something else. Right, Falcon?
Yep.
But yeah, basically, Ogata. Honestly, I don't really hate any of the girls, but I personally feel like Ogata is the weakest for me, and that's not. I really like Ogata too, but
like
compared to
Ogata
all the
a
other
lot.
girls, and I'm biased because I've literally completed the series, so I know like literally almost. I literally know everything about it except for some things, which I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but I feel like they kind of handled her character development really weird, but that's just my opinion.
I'd agree. Especially at the start. At the start, I did not like Ogata at all. She came off as just like the very cold, like tsundere character. And so I was kind of like, okay, I'm never usually into that kind of character that much. She seems okay. But I will say, especially in season 2, they made me like her more. I guess we should say we did end up watching both seasons. It wasn't the haircut. No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, we did end up watching both seasons. Each season is 13 episodes.
Yeah, we normally do
an OVA between seasons 1 and 2, but I don't. Did you watch it?
I didn't. I couldn't find it.
I didn't watch it either. No, it's supposed to be like, it's like a beach episode. I don't know.
Yeah, and I realized that too. I'd forgotten you told me that, and I couldn't find it, so I just went into season 2.
And there was a scene where
showing scenes of them like in the beach, and I was like, when was that? Oh, that's the OVA.
That's when I messaged you, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the OVA. We might have to watch it or not. We can skip it. Not really. Yeah, it's not really important because.
So we have watched the whole series, but the OVA, just for clarification. But Ogata grew on me more as it went on, but I still never like really wanted her to end up with Narayuki, if that made any sense. I was like, cool, I like her more as a character now. I get why she's the way she is, but like, okay, you can go to college and do your thing. That's fine. I don't need to see any more Ogata.
Fun fact: she has the biggest boobs in the anime.
Oh man,
what the wiki says.
But like she says, she got an F, or she got a what did she say? She got an E, or she got an F, or whatever. And the girls just think she's talking about her boobs. And it's
that was a really weird scene.
And then she said it was an F, but now it's a G, and like there's a
it might be an H.
Yeah, and it was like, oh my god, it's like you would think at that point,
that was weird. I guess that's like girl talk.
That was a really weird one. That's like the stuff in harems that I'm like, why do we have this in here? Like, okay, but that's just me. Like, I don't judge people who like those parts of it. Enjoy what you enjoy. Anything else we can really say about Rizu?
She has glasses and she has orange hair.
Well, I guess we could also briefly mention she does have a side character that's really tied into her that we're not gonna like talk about full in the character discussion.
You know what, Falcon? Since you said that's one of your favorite characters, why don't you talk about her right now? Go ahead. Her name is Sekijo.
Okay. Her name is Sekijo Sawako. She is Rizu Ogata's self-proclaimed best friend. Even though at the start, Ogata doesn't even know who she is. But she is the president of the science club, I believe. And she's just fully obsessed with Ogata almost in a romantic way. But then she's not romantically interested into her at all. But it comes off, it's really weird. She's constantly trying to set up her and Nariyuki to get together, even at the expense of her hanging out with Ogata because she knows Ogata's crushing on him. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. She's very energetic. She's constantly trying to win Ogata's affection, and that's pretty much her whole character. But she very much cares about Ogata to the point of she stayed up all night planning this hangout with Ogata where they're going to go get a pin case, which is one of the first times Ogata genuinely seemed interested in hanging out with her. But then they see Nariyuki appear, and she cancels that plan to try to get her and Nariyuki to hang out. And even Nariyuki's like, "What the hell are you doing? You were excited about this. You tweeted every 10 minutes about it last night. You didn't sleep." And
that's going back to the fact about Nariyuki caring about everyone around him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which is super nice.
And it led to one of my favorite, I think, episodes of all. They go on a university tour day. And Nariyuki asked Ogata to go because I think if you take a class in psychology, it'll let you know if you're really interested in it or not. So why don't we go? And then as soon as he asks, she's like, "Hey, that sounds fun." Sekijo runs in and's like, "Ogata, let's go to this university's campus day." And they end up going together, but they end up having this fight to see who can spend time with Ogata because they're trying to help the other one out, even though Ogata just wants to hang out with both of them. She doesn't care if they're both there together or not. That led to one of my favorite things. And I kind of wish Sekijo was in the main harem because I do think she kind of made the most sense.
I will say this right now,
we
it's not really a spoiler, but out of all the side characters, she, other than the endings, she's the one who gets the most development. I completely forgot about her character. Then they showed her her backstory a bit with how Rizu kind of saved her because everyone was like, why are you getting good grades? Why you gotta be like that? And then she's like, why are people making fun of me? And then Rizu being her just herself, not understanding human emotions, she's like, what are you talking about? What's wrong that I finished? Huh? Why is that?
That was great. I love. Yeah, she finished. She's like, but I don't want to be that girl who finished, and everyone's like, oh man, look at that person just showing off, and then Ree's just like, I'm done. It's like, can I go now?
And then the guys behind her was like, well, why do you gotta do that? What a loser. It's like, what is that? Is that a problem?
Yeah, she's like, is it a problem that I finished? Why should I sit here and pretend to still be working when I'm not? It's well, she makes a valid point about it, but yeah, I liked how she's like, that's when I realized I don't give a shit about what people think about me. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I'm me. I do like that she always wears the lab coat as well. So much so that when they're hanging out after school and she's not wearing the lab coat, Ogata's like, why aren't you wearing your lab coat? And she's like, well, these are my casual clothes. This is what I wear when I'm not at school. But
I actually have something really clever, a little fun fact, but I'll have to tell you it during the spoilers part.
Okay.
Spoiler, I just thought she was a fun spoiler part's going to be long.
Spoiler part probably will be long.
Sekijo's a pretty fun character, but Ogata's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I just liked how Sekijo and Nariyuki got along. I thought that was a really fun pairing. I kind of wish we saw more of it, but I get she's not a main character, so it's fine. But just something that if it happened more, I'd be cool with. But moving on, next girl will probably be Fumino.
Best anime girl, and I'm saying best anime girl for a reason, and that's because of the ending of season 2, where they literally gave her own little thing with her father. That thing. The reason why I said it is because they literally fleshed her out the most out of all the characters because of that one scene. I'm not going to get into it now, but basically Fumino Furuhashi, she is a very beautiful person. She is basically a tall and slender girl with silky blue hair. She's the literature major. Basically, she can write a paragraph in stories in 10 minutes and make it super good. But she wants to go into science because of her mother. Basically the reason why she wants to go into science and astronomy is because of how she would stay up late at night with her mother before she passed away and watch the stars and stuff, and that really inspired her to do that. But she's really bad at it. That's why
even before then she talks about she had a very genuine interest in the stars and she was reading all about astrology as much as she could, which is nice to know because they didn't really go into her backstory too much in the first season. She was kind of the girl that was just kind of there to be a friend. And so I was glad in the second season we finally got to delve into her, because otherwise, like, she's just kind of like the best friend character. Okay. Yeah, I like Fumino a lot. She's supportive of all the other girls. She's the only one in the show that's not really like hardcore crushing on Nariyuki. She
It's
knows both.
implied, but yeah,
Yeah,
she rather have her two friends have
yeah.
happiness before her.
She likes him, but doesn't like him enough to feel like it's worth losing their friendship by potentially winning him over. So she tries to help Ogata and Uraka win him over as much as she can. She's kind of like like I said, the kind of like the best friend supportive role throughout most of the show. Which I liked. It was kind of a fun little twist to see, like, okay, here's one of the girls who's actually competing, but she's trying to help the others beat her because she doesn't care that much about it. Or not that she doesn't care about it, but she's okay with them winning.
She also really loves to give Nariyuki like woman advice because
yeah.
she knows that Ogata, not like from the beginning, but Ogata later in the series, and then another girl we'll talk about next are like crushing on him, and she's like, "You gotta understand women better," and Nariyuki's like, "Yes, Sensei, I understand." It's pretty great, but yeah, basically they have a nice little like friendship going on. They're pretty close. He helps her out with problems. She helps her out with things that he has problems with. It's pretty cool.
He gives her bras as a birthday gift by mistake.
Yeah,
That was a weird one, but I also was like, she's even like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would give me this as a gift. It's like, then he probably got it mixed up. It was,
and she
like,
ends up wearing it anyway, putting 4 pads because unfortunately, even though she is really pretty, she is unfortunately the flattest girl in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
I think she said she had an A cup.
She's self-confident about it. Yeah, she said she has an A, I think is what she said when they're all the girls are talking about it one day. Yeah.
Here's a
I like
fun
her a
fact.
lot.
Sorry, go ahead, Falcon.
No, go on.
A fun fact, I'm on the trivia page under her thing, and it does say that is conscious about her chest, but
yeah.
The top one, Fumino has a beauty mark under her left eye, which also symbolizes good fortune in the love life.
I do see it. Like, it's so small, I've never noticed it.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I've seen it. It's actually really cute. Looks really nice.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I don't remember that. And then I looked and like, I'm on the wiki and like the side. I was like, oh, she does. I was like, I never noticed it.
Also, here's another fun fact. Apparently, Fumino's appearance may resemble a character from Under Night in Birth called Ori Ballardie. I don't know how to pronounce the names. They're too weird. That's what the thing says.
Yeah, Under Night in Birth is that like fighting game, I think, right?
Yeah, it's the one that's also crossed over with Blaze Blue and Ruby and Persona.
Yeah.
But here's another fun fact. Fumino's birthday was not revealed in the manga, only mentioning her birthday is within October and her zodiac sign. However, the author announced her birthday on Twitter instead.
Okay.
So that's cool. Also, Fumino has a secret fan club. The Thorns, which is led by a side character named Kashima, who gets like two or three scenes.
I was getting total Ouran High School vibes with this, with like the Lobelia Academy girls. If you've ever seen Ouran,
I have not.
You haven't seen Ouran? We're watching that one then. Ouran is great.
Oh, great! Well, you heard it here, folks. Confirmed.
not next week's podcast, but eventually we will be watching Ouran High School. I love Ouran High School. It's great. But yeah, she. So one of the characters, there's this other. I'll talk about that in Ouran. Don't get off topic, Falcon. But the one in Ouran is like actually in love with one of the characters. So I like here that they're not really in love with her. They're just like a fan club.
Club in Ouran's all guys, but the girl joins the guy club dressed up as a guy, and that's how it like starts.
So yeah, the basic premise of Ouran is the girl Haruhi is very poor, but she gets a scholarship to go to this really rich prep school that's known as being this like phenomenal school. But the day before classes started, she got gum in her hair and had to get it cut off. So she's got really short hair and she can't afford a uniform. So she just wears like baggy clothes. So no one really knows she's a girl. She's trying to find a place to study, goes to this music room that she doesn't think anybody's in, but it's where these guys have the host club. And when she's trying to leave, they're freaking her out and she ends up breaking this like $10 million vase. So she has to work at the host club to pay off the vase because they think she's a guy. And then they find out she's a girl, but all the girls at the host club really like her. And nobody knows she's a girl because she's never worn like a dress or anything. So she pretends to be a boy to pay back her debt to the host club.
Welcome to the Ouran High School Host Club podcast episode where we talk about Ouran High School instead.
Anyway, back to Fumino, because Fumino is pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good. She's the most fleshed out character in the
Mhm.
out of the girls in the anime, in my opinion. And again, I will talk about more of that in the spoiler section because I'm gonna
Yeah,
go off.
we can't really talk about her too much without getting into spoilers
I'm
stuff.
gonna go off, so stay tuned, okay?
Okay, alrighty. Which leads us next to one of the best
Uraka
girls,
Takemoto.
Uruka.
Is that your favorite girl, Falcon?
I actually don't think so. She was at the start.
Oh,
At the start, I wasn't really liking any of them, and she was the one I disliked the least.
just like the least.
But I think there's one more of the main ones that I think I ended up liking better by the end.
I think
I
I
don't think
know
she's
who
my
you're
favorite.
talking about, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
I don't
So,
think you do actually.
Uraka Takemoto is
All right.
our main character's childhood friend. I would
Mhm.
say I use childhood friend lightly, more like they just knew each other in middle school. So I guess
Yeah.
you could consider that childhood friend. She is a professional in the swim club. However,
Mhm.
her problem is she is bad with learning English. So
Mhm.
she ends up being tutored by Naruyuki as well, bringing up his count to 3 people being tutored at
Yeah.
once. Man, that is crazy. Imagine trying to tutor 3 people and keeping your grades up at least 80%. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah. The thing I liked about her too is that she wasn't wanting to study English or anything. It's just to get into like the schools with the really good swim programs. She just really needed to up her English grade because her English grade was low enough. Most schools wouldn't care that she was this great swimmer. It's like your English sucks. So she's just having to do it in hopes of getting like better admissions prospects to schools as opposed to like the other two who are just like, even though I'm a genius at this, I really want to go into this thing I'm really, really bad at, which was nice. But she's also, I feel like in some ways the girliest of the 3 girls. Like she's the
Probably the
tomboy
girliest.
and yet also the girliest, which was a fun kind of pairing. But yeah, she's excellent in sports. She even has to try to tutor Naruyuki in swimming at one point.
Yep, that was a pretty fun episode.
And then you find out she's a terrible teacher. It's like you start off and you go vroom, and then it's like okay, but
She's
yeah,
also very good at cooking. We see that
she
a
is
few
very
times
good
in
at
the
cooking.
anime,
I'd forgotten
which
that.
which is surprising because you think she looked like the type of girl to not be good at cooking, but apparently she's like pretty good.
Really, the only one that was bad at cooking was Fumino, because Ogata's good at cooking because her family has the soba shop. And so she helps cook there, or udon, not soba. Why'd I say soba? But yeah, I think she's, yeah. We'll just go there. Yeah, she gets in her head. She's been the one who's been crushing on Naruyuki the hardest. So she notices a lot of the more like romantic stuff with him more often than with the others. She's constantly asking Fumino for advice on how to win over Naruyuki by talking about her friend, but she makes it
Yep.
very obvious that it's her and not her friend, but she's
And the
still
same way with
my
Naruyuki talking
friend.
to Fumino about how, oh, my
Yeah,
friend. And it's like, oh god,
yeah,
running with this gag, huh?
yeah. But it was great. And even just like when he does like the really small things, she gets in her head and you'll see her have like this girly freak out. But yeah, I liked her a lot. She gets less focus as it goes on. I feel like she was really important in season 1, and then season 2 she felt like she was hardly in there. I don't know if that was just a me thing or if that was because like season 2, like she's in the first episode or two, then they have like an Ogata little thing that happens where Ogata was the main focus for a lot, then they go into like Fumino as the main focus for a lot, and I felt like she kind of was like left by the wayside, except in like little
Granted, it
small
is hard. It
instances.
is really hard to struggle between 5 girls at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the manga handled it decently, okay, but you know, it's always a struggle when there's 5 girls.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Nisekoi suffers from the same thing at times too.
Nisekoi started off great with it just being like the 2 girls, and then that from
And
what
they
I heard they
got
added in like 3 or 4 more. I was like, why do you keep
they
adding in
did.
girls? Just leave it with what you had. It was great. But
Nisekoi also has a teacher.
oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far yet, so that's why I wouldn't know. Oof.
Okay, best girl is Marika and Nisekoi, so
Okay. Oh, that's the redheaded girl, right?
that is the redheaded girl.
Okay. I'd gotten that far at least.
You be best girl. But hey, we're not talking about Nisekoi. We're talking about we never learned. And I guess we never learned from the fact that we keep going off in tangents, Falcon.
We never learned. Yeah,
we
that's
never
right.
learned.
I mean, tangents are fun, but yeah, if you're like, I just want to hear you all talk about Bokuben, be like.
By the way,
oof.
here's a fun fact, real quick, about Uraka. Apparently, she was once afraid of swimming in the early periods of middle school. But because she kept practicing and she kept pushing herself forward, she became an expert that we all know and love today. Which goes to show, again, going from what Naruyuki's father said to Naruyuki when he was little, as long as you can keep on working at something, you'll be able to do good.
Yeah,
That's right.
she talks about too that Narayuki helped her get she got over her fear of swimming, but she kept getting beat, and he's finally like, so just focus on it and not blow everyone away. And it's like, okay, I'll do that. But she was wanting to quit, I think, right? Yeah, she was wanting to quit, and then he kind of like convinced her to keep going. But yeah, which is fun.
That is pretty fun. She's a pretty good girl,
Mhm.
actually. She's in my top favorites.
Yeah. That's what I feel like. I wish she got a little more focused than like Ogata did in the second season, but also the second season helped me like Ogata better. So it's kind of like maybe she didn't need the. I don't know. That's me getting there. But next is
Best girl. Best girl.
your favorite girl, the
Best
teacher
girl.
Kirisu Mafuyu.
Mafuyu. Yes, I have a strong love
Strong
towards
opinion.
teachers.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
strong love for teachers. So
Strong
this
love.
is easily
Okay.
biased. Basically, Kirisu Sensei is one of the teachers at the school that all the main characters attend. She has pink hair, lovely pink hair. She seems like she has everything together at first, because she's really good at her job. She's like, but she's kind of cold to people. I'm not gonna explain why that, because there's a reason for that. But she's like, she believes that if you have talent for something, you should just pursue it no matter what. And if it'd be stupid to not go for that. She actually ended up tutoring Fumino and Ogata before Narayuki did. I think she was the first one. Now that I think
She was
about
the
it.
last one. So they said they
No,
had
she was the
multiple.
first one, and then they had more teachers, and then they decided to do the Narayuki, I think.
Was it? Because I thought they said that she was our tutor before you. So I thought she had just stopped being the tutor when Narayuki took over.
Um, I'm checking.
Da, 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 da.
Oh my God! Let's fill this silence with some fun facts. Did you know that
Fun
our beautiful
facts.
best girl is really bad at driving? Or
Yeah.
she's just a really reckless driver in
Yeah,
general.
she's just very reckless. She speeds and whatnot.
The
Of it's like,
Wikipedia
are
is
you
not saying
go the
anything.
speed limit? I
But
am
anyway,
going the speed limit.
I am going the speed limit. Anyway, the
uh,
point is, she used to be a tutor to the
mhm.
two main girls, and basically, she's like, "You shouldn't do that. You should just pursue what you're good at." And then they're like, "No, we want to do what we want." And she didn't really like that, so she kind of gave up on them.
Yeah,
And
and if
they
that
kind
seems
of,
strange to you, she has a reason why, but we won't go into why for
I
spoilery
know
reasons.
why. Falcon doesn't know why. I know why.
I kind of know why.
You
They talk
don't.
about it a little bit.
No, you don't. I
Okay.
mean, I'll mention it in spoilers, but
Okay.
anyway, basically, she, and then as I mentioned, she's like a really good teacher, but at home she's a slob. She doesn't really clean her house a lot.
Hmm.
She's kind of lazy a
She
bit
has a
too.
fear of
She has
cockroaches.
a big fear of cockroaches.
Yeah.
Big fear.
I love that she just waits outside her apartment for Narayuki to walk by if there's one there, and then she's like, come here. Yeah.
It's kind of great.
I love
Yeah.
that. I'm like, why is she just sitting there? And then it's like, come here
She
now.
also used to be a professional figure
Mhm.
skater, but she gave that up due to reasons that I cannot talk about.
Okay. I was like, I knew she was the figure skater. She kept saying like she was really talented.
She has all the
And
trophies
she
that you
missed her
see in her house.
chance to like do it professionally. So that's why she was trying to get the other girls to like focus on what they're good at. But
Yep.
I guess there's more to that. So I'll wait on that. But yeah, I liked her. I liked Kirisu Sensei a lot. She became one of my favorites.
Is she your
Um,
favorite?
no, she's not my favorite.
I knew who your
Next
favorite
girl's
was.
my favorite.
I knew it was.
Oh, you did? I was like,
um,
I don't know if you will or not.
I figured it was gonna be here because it would. If you said I agree with you, it would have been the teacher. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Um, let's see. But yeah,
I
she's
like
fun.
her a lot.
But yeah,
She's
like all
really
these
great.
kids at school are like scared of her 'cause she has this like really cold, demanding, like kind of vibe to her.
I like the end
Um,
of season 2 when, cause there's something that this anime does and the manga does is they like to put her in different outfits so many
mhm,
times. I don't understand what the appeal of putting an
no.
adult woman in outfits but I mean it's really great. They put her in like a Chinese outfit, a maid outfit, like a idol outfit, a magical girl outfit,
Hmm.
a nun outfit,
I
a
forgot about the nun
swimsuit,
outfit, but yeah, he's like sister, and then you just see her in the nun out. Oh yeah.
a
Uh,
swimsuit. I just like to do that a lot, and I don't know what the appeal
The
about that is.
swimsuit was like a great fake, and I was like, are they really gonna show the teacher in her underwear? Then it's like swimsuit. I was like, okay.
They even put her in like the school uniform one time because she forgot to do her laundry and like, oh, this is the only thing I have left, and the cop stopped her.
She handled that so terribly.
I know.
It's just like, I'm embarrassed. A cop is talking to me thinking I'm a high school student. Then it's just like,
But she
tell
still
him
got
you're a
it, though.
teacher. Like,
Is this some weird cosplay thing? Do I have to take you down to the station?
yeah. And then all he's like, oh, she's the drama teacher. It's like, she's not the drama teacher, but your student got you out of a really big problem. But oh gosh, yeah, she was interesting. But anyway, that takes it to the actual
Wait.
vet.
I just want to say real quick that I like her eyes. They're really pretty.
She does have really pretty eyes.
Okay. Is it time for Falcon's best girl?
Maybe. Do you have anything else you want to say about Kirisu Sensei?
Not until we're done talking about the characters.
Okay. So we will be going on to my favorite girl next, which is Asumi Tomonami.
Yes. Falcon likes it when girls bully him.
I don't like it when girls bully me.
So this character came in late, like episode 10 of season 1. Falcon, I'll let you describe.
She came in. Yeah. She came in very late. So Nariki goes to cram school to help him study a little bit better, hoping he'll improve his scores. And there he meets Komanami Senpai. She is out of school. She went to the same school that the main characters did. But she is also wanting to go into a field that she's not great at. And so she's going to the cram school to help her get those scores. She failed getting into the school she wanted to get into when she first tried. She's been trying for a couple times to get in. She pretty much takes up the senpai role to Nariyuki. She kind of gives him advice, helps him out along the way. But she also works at a maid cafe to help pay for her cram school because her parents don't want to, since she is wanting to go into the field she's like really, really bad at. She's very she likes teasing people a lot. She's very short. People think she's like a middle schooler, which makes her really annoyed all the time. Which is just a fun quirk. But yeah, she's constantly just trying to say things to get a rise out of people, tease them around.
Especially Nariyuki. And she looks like a middle schooler too. That's what, because
she really does.
First saw her, he's like, is that a middle schooler here at cram school?
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah, and then you see what were they doing? Was it someone else like, oh, why is a middle schooler here? Oh, when they were at the school festival, she's helping play in a band for like the light music club. Like, that middle school guitarist is really good.
And you find out she's 19.
Yeah, you find out she's 19.
All the girls.
Yeah, and she also had Kirisu Sensei as a teacher, so it's always fun when they're together because she kind of like teases the teacher somewhat too.
Calls her Mafuyu. It's great.
Yeah, she calls her Mafuyu since she's not a student anymore.
Did you mention the maid thing, right? You mentioned the maid thing?
Yeah, I mentioned the maid thing.
So she basically works part-time like a maid cafe, and it's actually funny because when Nariyuki was leaving cram school, he gets pulled in there, and that's when he sees her there, and they're like, oh! And then they realize that, oh, he's good, he can help her study. So now Nariyuki takes another girl, not like all the time, but I guess whenever they see,
he just helps out every now and then.
But this basically shows the kindness that the main character is, and how he's basically like a really good character.
Yeah, I mean, she was nice enough at cram school. He was having a hard time taking notes because the teacher was really, really fast, and then just would immediately erase the board
right away.
Yeah,
okay, that's
and
cool.
so she was like, "Here, copy this in between the class break. You'll get used to that. That teacher's really quick. Don't feel bad about it." She kind of helps him out, and then he gets lost on his way to the station from the cram school because he doesn't go to that part of town. And these two like big like bouncer guys like, hey, you should come with us, we know what you'd like, and they drag him to this maid cafe that she works at. Then she gets mad they dragged him in because he goes to cram school with her and she didn't want anyone knowing she worked there or whatever. But yeah, he ends up helping her study and helping her improve her grades. So like he'll hang out there after cram school, and since he helps her study, they give him like free food and stuff.
Yep.
So he
Sometimes
goes there
they pay him
extra
when
study.
He helps out around, you know.
Yeah, he'll help clean up and stuff like that if they're short staffed. She's also, I guess we should say, the most popular maid. She's very good at putting on the persona and like just kind of not really manipulating people, but I guess making people feel good about themselves. Which you see a few times. Like she goes to their school at one point and helps Nariyuki run away from two teachers who are bugging him, like, I just came to hang out with you guys. What's new? And
what's going on? Buy me some food, teach.
Yeah, she gets them to buy her food and whatnot. Yeah, I liked her a lot. She's not in there very much. She comes in the last 2 or 3 episodes of season 1, and then she's just kind of there for most of season 2. We don't really do much with her. I feel like her and Kirisu Sensei are kind of with Uraka and the fact that they're not really very important or do
No,
much.
the anime really focused on the sensei a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, but I don't feel like she had like, any episodes that were just like actually based on her. She would have like little bits in between.
Ah, yes, well, that's
other
because the anime
characters.
decided to be dumb.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll get in that a little later.
But yeah, I feel like she's probably the one we saw the least, which is kind of sad. But
I
also,
will agree on that.
I like what I saw, so I'm good with what we got. I just wish there's a little more of it.
This has got the Falcon thumbs up of approval, right?
Falcon thumbs up of approval.
That's right. That's best girl. Falcon's best girl.
And that is all of the characters.
Well, hold on. Let's find a fun fact real quick. Asumi is afraid of Glires. I don't know how to Glires.
I'm clicking the link. Glires is
including
clade.
rats and hamsters.
Oh, so yeah, rodents and hamsters. Okay.
Basically rodents. She's afraid of rodents.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun fact. I think that's something later in the manga.
Wait, a rabbit is a glire.
Yeah, apparently it is.
Rodents, rabbits, hares, and pika. What's a pika? I don't know. But yeah, okay, coolio.
There's not really that many fun facts about it, which is surprising.
Well,
I guess that's everything about all the characters. Again, there is some side characters, but they don't get that much prevalence other than Sekijo. I forget if any other side characters get more importance later. Oh, not actually, really. Spoiler, but Mafuyu has a sister. I think she gets some plot relevance.
Maybe in the manga, not in the anime. I don't remember.
In the manga, not in the anime. In the manga, I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like the series overall. But for anime wise, not many characters.
Yeah, I mean the thorns show up if they're needed to like move the story along somehow.
That was just like 2 times, literally.
Yeah, like
the culture
once
festival,
at the very, very beginning, and then once at the very, very end. And then the swim team friends of Uraka show up every now and then, but they're just there to like be like, so you still haven't asked out Nariyuki, huh? So
not
sad.
Nariyuki on a Friday night. How pathetic.
I really liked them though. I wish they showed up a little more. They seemed like they were really fun, but they also weren't important, so it didn't matter.
All right, real quick before we move on to the next topic, I did a little research on something. Usually, like this, there's a popularity contest, popularity polls on who the best girl is. I tried to look up the more recent one, seeing if there was one for 2020, and I could not find one, and that's understandable because I think the manga is very close to being ended at the point of this recording. However, I found one for 2019 in July. Falcon, before I read the results, would you like to guess who won?
I'm going to say Kirisu.
You are correct. The order, she won with 14,000 votes. Okay. Now, the second place is Fumino. I want you guess how many votes she has.
I'm gonna say 11,000.
She has 3,000 votes.
Oh wow! Like
Kirisu won by 1,100 votes.
Wow.
That just shows that she's the best girl. You know how it is. You know how it is. Let's go.
You just threw that in there to be like, oh look, I have the popular vote. Your mic is muted. I can't hear you right now.
Sorry, I got a little excited. I'm like, let's go.
I was like, what is going on?
Dang, you get people in the video like he's not talking, but he's moving really happily. Oh god.
The people in the audio. I did cut to silence.
Basically, so the order is Kirisu Sensei with 14,000 votes. Number 2, we got Fumino with 3,000 votes. Third place is Uraka with 2,980 votes. Fourth place is Ogata with 1,803 votes. Fifth place is Asahi with 1,488 votes. And then sixth place is his sister with 1,000 votes. The main character's sister. That's basically the order. It's actually a really nice picture. It's actually Christmas themed. Maybe if this video ever gets uploaded to YouTube, maybe the editor, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, will probably find this picture and put it on there to show the beautiful people. I can show it to you, Falcon, if you want to see it.
I'll check it out later. It's not that important right now.
Cool. But yeah, basically that's the popularity contest. I think there was a one for 2018 because this is the second popularity contest. I think this was before like a lot of major events happened. But basically teacher's best girl. As always, the people know what they like. They like teachers.
Yeah, I mean, Kirisu was easily in my top 3. Yeah. Alrighty. So we've already kind of done some fun facts mixed in with the characters. Are there any last fun facts you want to mention before we move on to music?
Real quick. This is a fun fact I found on the TV Tropes website. It's dueling shows with 2 different shows. It came out one basically this show came out with another show called the Quintessential Quintuplets, which is basically another show, basically with the same premise of a main character teaching people because they're really bad at studying, which is pretty cool. And it also came out with this other one called Ao-chan Can't Study. Basically, the
Okay.
time that this anime came out with the other two, they were kind of competing with each other, I guess, for like that type of thing. It's kind of weird. Um, mm, 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 mm. Apparently, also, have you ever watched The Magnificent Kotobuki?
I don't think I have.
Okay, never mind. This wouldn't make sense then. But there's some fan nicknames apparently. Apparently fans always tend to refer to Kirisu as Sensei and Asumi as Senpai, since basically that's what they're called. They never really call them by their names. Basically that's really, there's not really that many fun facts on the website page, and I've really read a lot of fun facts as we've been going on. So I guess that's it for fun facts. Do we want to talk about the music next?
Music will be next.
All right, I got the music pulled up already right
okay, good,
here.
because I forgot to have the music pulled up.
Cool. So we got so basically before we get into the openings, the overall music of the show was okay. It wasn't, honestly, it's not really very memorable. I honestly really can't remember other than the openings and the ending themes. Same with you, Falcon?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So basically for season 1, the opening, it's called Seishun Seminar, and it's actually, the artist is called Study, and it's actually sung by the main 3 girls.
I thought it was. It sounded like it was.
By the voice actress for Fumino, the voice actress for Ogata, and the voice actress for Uraka, sorry. So I'm confused with My Hero. And then the first ending theme as well, called Never Give It Up. It's also sung by the same 3 girls. And then season 2 opening, it's called Can Now, also sung by the main 3 girls.
And isn't the ending sung by them as well?
Nope. The second ending theme is sung by, it's called Ho Kago no Liberty, and it's sung by someone named Hausa.
Okay.
I like the openings a lot. The anime itself is visually appealing for what it is. It's a good transition from the manga to the anime. I think it's really beautiful. But out of the first and second openings, I would say I think I like the second one a lot more.
I do as well. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I liked the visuals on the first ending, but I didn't like the actual song.
I like the songs. They were both really cool. But I like the second one more, visuals and song and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, in my opinion, season 2 is better than season 1 as well. But and then maybe I could talk about that. For the ending themes, honestly, I didn't really like the ending themes. If I had to choose which one I like better, I'd say the first one, because I really like the chalk style. Yeah. I didn't really like the second one where they kept like closing up on them whenever they said like Yamete or something. I'm like, that's really weird.
Yeah, they just kept doing it and doing it, because I think, doesn't Yamate stand for like stop? I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So like I was like, I didn't like that. I liked, openings. I thought both were fine. I liked the visuals on the second season better. For endings, I liked the visual of the first season better, but I think like I just like that one better. I still wasn't a huge fan of it, but the chalk aesthetic, I was like, I thought that was really cool. And how even like the color of like their hair was only like at the top little bit of it, and then the rest was just like an outline. Like I just thought it looked really nice.
Yeah. So I guess we have the same.
I wasn't a huge fan of either the openings or endings that much. Like I'm not going to listen to them very often, but they were fine. They got the point across.
Yes, that you gotta pick a waifu right now.
Pick a waifu right now. Okay, so we moment. I mean, is it just gonna be the same as our best girls? I'd probably pick Tomonami.
I really can't get too much into the weeb moment because
Komanami or Uruka probably would be who I'd pick.
I would choose the teacher or Fumino probably.
Yeah,
because Ogata's the least interesting girl to me out of all of them, even though she got the biggest boobs.
Oh boy! Well, hey, like Yuiga says, that doesn't necessarily really matter if you love somebody.
That's right.
That big brain knowledge right there.
Big brain knowledge. All right. What's next on the list that we got to talk about?
Next, we have favorite moments. But do we feel like favorite moments? I think from what we talked about a little beforehand, our favorite moments are probably spoilery.
Let's not talk about like plot important ones. Let's just talk about like favorite overall things. So as I mentioned, I think I mentioned to you before the podcast, but there's this scene where the teacher and Naruyuki are talking, and I don't know, he's like trying to he's taking like an interview or something, and he's like freaking out. He's like, oh god, imagine her different clothes, and he starts like imagining her in different clothing, and like the Chinese outfit, the school swimsuit, the school outfit, the nun outfit. It's just I thought it was like really funny and
Yeah,
it was
as
really
soon as you
cute to
start
see
off,
the
he was
teacher wearing all those
trying to
different
picture
outfits.
her in her tracksuits that she wears when she's at home because she just looks, kind of like unintimidating and kind of like slobby. So he's
Where
like,
did that
picture her
Chinese outfit
there,
come from?
and
I've
then
never
he's
seen
like,
her in that.
why did swimsuit come out first? That's not what I wanted. And just keeps changing her around. I did like trying to figure out where all the different costumes went in season 2 at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty
They're at
funny.
a school festival and they all ordered from the same costume shop, but all the boxes got mixed up. So like this club is looking for this outfit, they got to the teacher, then the teacher is looking for this outfit, which got to the drama club, and then the drama, like it just keeps changing around. It was just a lot of fun to
It
see
was
where
really
all the
cool of
costumes ended up at the
Nariyuki
end.
to make the outfit for
Mhm. He
Uruka.
made that super quick and it was
Yeah.
great.
Well, you know him, he studied. Oh, that reminds me of another. Do you remember the massage one where he had to massage people in the outfit?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. All the girls were just like, oh, this feels so good.
Yeah. I mean, anytime he was in the outfit, special props to the manager of the 2 stores he helps out with for the day because she was fun. She wasn't there much, but I was like, oh, the manager's back. Okay, that's great.
Came in for like 2 episodes. It was pretty funny.
She's in
Her
2
kid always
episodes and
gets
she
sick.
leaves the same way. Your kid has a fever. Oh no, I gotta go. Like the first time he gets stuck, what is it, the lingerie store?
Yeah, the lingerie
and then the
store.
second time it's a massage thing, and we just need you to hand out flyers. Great. The school just called. Your daughter's sick. I have to leave. It's like, oh man. But yeah, the massage one, I was weird about it. I like the fact that it showed he was good at it, but it was like, do you really have to have them all like moan like a ton?
It was
like,
that good. No, it was just that good. They had to show it was that good, Falcon. You have to
I
understand.
guess
that.
like Food Awards,
Are
it
you
was just so good
saying
it's
you
orgasmic.
would not want a massage that was just that orgasmic, Falcon?
Probably not. I mean, they were all even asking him to stop. It's like, stop, dude, stop. And he's like, I can go for more.
I can go even further beyond.
Yeah. I do like in that episode, Senpai, not Senpai. Yeah. Komanami, how she's just trying not to make noise. She's like, nope, this isn't good. No, but she's just trying really hard. He's like, I'll go harder. But yeah, it's that was a fun moment.
That was really great. I like that a lot.
Because like her maid friend's like, doesn't this feel great? She's like, what? What's going on over there? Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Yeah.
I like the one. What was it? I just had it on my mind and I completely forgot what it is. Oh, it's the one where Sensei sees Nariyuki going into the maid outfit, talking to that guy, and she's like, "What are you doing in there?" And then you find out that's where Sensei and Senpai like they meet again for the first time, and she comes in, and I think she falls on the other maid girl, and then she has to wear a maid outfit. And she's like really clumsy. You know how Sensei is.
She's like the clumsy maid.
And then he's looking like the 2 like really older guys. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. She didn't mean to do that. And they're like, this is perfect. She's
we haven't had a clumsy maid yet.
It's like what?
They're gonna have her like serve people or something, but they're like, she's really not great. Like with like personality or like doing the master thing, we'll just have her clean. And then Nariyuki's gonna be like, actually, she's like, I got this. And then she immediately just like knocks plates over with the broom or whatever. Yeah, that was good. I think I talked about it a little bit, but I like the scene at the university where Sekijo and Nariyuki are trying to compete for who's gonna spend the time with Ogata when they're like, sweet. I have to go to the bathroom. No, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get there first. Like they just keep running around. I also like too that typical like in these shows the guys always get like nosebleeds all the time, and I love that Nariyuki never does, but Sekijo does like almost every time she's around them. I just thought that was a fun like
that's a
variation.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, like she'd be like, oh god, and then Ogata would say something to like a nosebleed. It's like okay, but I like that scene a lot.
I mentioned this before the podcast, but basically, you know how most animes like these have like a hot springs mishap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one where Nariyuki, no, he was clean. I mean, that's not my favorite. So there's this one where they're in this bathhouse, and Nariyuki's about to go into the thing, and then the guy's like, "Oh, good thing I just switched the signs back and stuff." And when Nariyuki enters, the 3 girls are there: Fumino, Ogata and Uruka, and they're like, what are you doing here? And Nariyuki's like, this is the men's side. And they're like, no, it's not. And then they hear like more men coming in, and they're like, oh, we're sorry. And then they have to like try to like sneak them out. It's pretty great.
And I
But
love how
like
they
it's
finally do
different
because
from
the
like
other
different
guys
anime.
are the really pervy ones, like, haha, yeah, woo! We cut a hole in the bamboo wall, yeah! And then best girl pokes their eyes out because like if you make that much of a noise, we know you're trying to look at us,
And they're all
stupid.
like thank her,
It's
like, good
just
job,
yeah,
yay, you have
yay.
perverts.
They're like,
It
wow, you're
really
so
goes to
brave to do that.
it
It's
really
like
goes to show that when there's a main character in a harem up or anime that's like not really super perverted, same with Nisekoi, and I
yeah,
feel like it makes the show a lot better.
it really does. I get annoyed when they're just like
And
it's
then you
like,
have high
okay, we
school
get
kids
it,
say
you're
like Herger
perverted.
Burger, I want harem, me touch boobies right now. I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah, I don't like those kinds of harems very much. I'm just like, really? Come
Oonga
on, like
boonga.
Unga Boonga. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other favorite moment that I
Oh,
had that
there's
didn't.
so many favorite moments in this show. We could literally probably go on and on with them. If
Most
you
of them
ever
I feel
watch
like
the
are
show,
season two.
you'll probably get a lot of favorite
Yeah.
moments.
hmm
Yep.
There's no real fights in this show, so the best fights category is out the window, which
Unless
means
we
we're.
fight, me and Falcon fight right now about who's best or girl, and it's obviously Sensei because that's what the public decides. So I win.
I mean,
Haha.
I wouldn't really argue
I
with
mean,
you.
my girl
She's
is
probably
number
my second
one while your
favorite.
girl is number 5. Basically,
Hey, I
she's the
mean, it's
last one out
fine.
of all the girls, and I'm
She
kind of
also
upset
gets the
about
least
that.
focus though, so that makes sense. And
Uh,
also the manga has her in there way more.
it
Um,
does. She has her own
okay,
little arc, and I want to talk
okay,
about it because it's really great.
it's really great, you say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's time to recommend before we get to the spoiler
Is there
discussion.
anything else we wanted to talk about?
I mean, we've gone through all our usual topics, unless there's anyone
Yeah.
when you want to add on,
I
of
mean,
course.
I guess real quick, I mentioned it just a few seconds ago, but I really like how this is like a different harem anime than
Mhm.
most are. It's just really different. And it brings like a new, fresher feeling into the genre. Personally, these are probably my more favorite ones. What do you think about that, Falcon? Do you like it or?
I liked it, but only because the rest of it felt very generic.
Well, obviously, they have to make it
Um,
generic for it to work.
yeah, but I even like when we get to the rating, I don't know what I'm gonna rate this because I didn't enjoy season one at all. Season two made me like it better, but I'm still like I liked the like differences they had. The main
Feel the
character not being
pain.
that pervy. A lot of the characters got better in season two, but season one, season one.
Well, let me see. Well, let me see real quick. I feel like might have did skip some chapters, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It probably did. They usually always do animes.
Mm,
It looks like the last episode was up to chapter 39
okay.
in the season 1, and then season 2 ended on chapter 69. Oh, well, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently there's another OVA episode.
Okay.
Oh boy, it came
I done
out.
some looking on like
Oh, it
Reddit
came
and
out this
stuff,
year in April.
and I heard there was supposed to be a couple of OVAs being made, but I
I
didn't
think
really
this is like
much
them
more
in like
into it.
this is like them. Oh, this is them when they are in like wedding dresses. I don't remember this happening in the manga because it's been a hot
Okay.
minute, but whatever. It might be original. Not sure. Don't care. Watch it if
Yeah.
you like it. Let's just get
Mhm.
on to the rating, Falcon. So
Okay.
basically, recommendations. I would actually, if you're trying to get into like this type of genre, I would recommend this anime as a good start. I probably would not recommend this anime for someone starting out in anime because I don't want
Mhm.
because you got to really understand like there are animes that are perverted like that, and unfortunately that's just how life is. And some of them are really good, some of them kind of take the jokes too far, like we talked about earlier. Unless I think that was, I'm not sure if that was on podcast or not, but the one where they're talking about their boobs with the test grades and stuff. I'm like, that's
I
kind
think
of
that was before a podcast. We
yeah.
talked about that. I think.
Basically, there's this scene where they're talking about like an exam score. Okay, it's basically there's 3 girls. It's Asahi, Fumino, and Uraka, and they're talking about like boob size
Mhm.
and stuff, and they're talking about how like Ogata has like the biggest ones, and then Ogata walks in and they ask her, "Hey, what size do you have?" And she says E because that's the test grade she got because she assumes they're talking about test grades, and they all start panicking, and then they start reading their test grades off. And then when Furuhashi gets to A, she's like, "Oh my god, you're the best! I'm so jealous!" And it's just like, "Oh god!" I'm like, "Okay, that's nice."
She thought they were talking about test grades and they were talking about boob sizes, and it just got all out of
There are
control.
scenes like that that just make it
Mhm.
really awkward and stuff. But I mean,
Mhm.
that's just like every anime. There's always awkward
Yeah.
scenes. It's really nice of the author to go into that to make it more realistic to like real life. Because I'm sure there's conversations where girls talk about their boob sizes like all the time. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a girl. I don't have boobs.
Yeah.
I have
No.
Just these things. I mean, I have boobs on my shirt.
Oh man, your
But,
hentai shirt.
Yes,
Oh,
totally
man.
hentai shirt. That's it. No, it's not getting sponsored anymore. Ruined
No,
sponsor.
no sponsored. Ruin that chance. Sorry, editor. We will never make money to pay you.
Yeah, Falcon. You edit it yourself right now.
Edit it myself right now.
Right now. Just
If I
stop
had
the
time, I
recording.
would
Edit
right
it.
now. Oh.
But
Anyway.
I really liked it. It's a jump for the manga, which is
Mhm.
surprising.
Mhm.
But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. What about you, Falcon? Would you recommend it?
That's really tough. First season, if it was just the first season, definitely no. Even ratings, when I was thinking about it, if we just rated off of the first season, I probably would have given it like a 4. I was not vibing with it. I wasn't really liking the characters that much. Season 2 improved. If you like harems, definitely watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. You just might have to trudge through season 1 before it gets really interesting. If you don't like harems, don't. It's different, but it still very much feels very generic most of the time. It takes a while before like the real uniqueness sets into it.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that point because I feel like in the beginning when Ogata and Furuhashi are telling Naruyuki about like why they want to study the other subject, and then Naruyuki makes the effort and he remembers what his father says. It's like, here's some notebooks I put some effort into. I think that was really nice and that really hooked me from the beginning. But we have differing opinions. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just remember who is better, girl.
First time anime fan, no. Watch other animes before you watch this
Yes,
one.
go watch Digimon.
Yeah, go watch Digimon Adventure. Why are you even asking this
Go
question?
watch March Comes in Like a Lion. What are you doing here?
It's for real. More people need to watch March Comes in Like a Lion. Come on, people, just do it. But yeah, yeah. So if you like harems, watch it. If you think it sounds interesting, give it a shot. I just really didn't like season 1 at all. As far as a rating, if it was just based on season 2, I would probably give it a 7. But taking season 1 into account, I think I'm going to give it a 6. I don't feel like it lowered it enough to be like a 5 and just be like your very average, mediocre kind of show. But I don't feel like I can really rate it any higher combined. And then plus the ending of season 2 was really bad. But we'll talk about that later. I don't want to spoil that unless you want to listen to spoilers. But what would you actually rate it, Condor?
I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to say I rate the anime 6. Now you're probably a little surprised at that because I actually really love this series. I love it a lot. I really like what it does with the characters. I love the effort, the characters, the art, the illustrations in the manga is super good. But when I watched the anime, I mean, it was beautiful. I didn't like how season 1 ended; it just kind of ended abruptly. So I kind of agree with you.
It
on
literally
that.
just said to be continued, and you're just like, what? Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I actually just looked this up. I wanted to mention it. Both seasons actually came out in 2019.
Oh wow.
Yep, I have it right here. Let me pull it back up. The first season came out April 6, 2019. The second season came out October 5th, 2019.
Okay.
Yep, it was kind of weird. I think Overlord did the same thing like that, but
Maybe.
no, it did with season 2 and 3. But I did not. I can't. I'm not gonna get into it now, but I'm ready to get a 6 because of the ending of season 2. That's the main reason. Or else, honestly, it would probably be a 7 or 7.5 if it wasn't for the ending for season 2. And I'm gonna give it a 6. Leave it at that. Definitely give it a watch. Definitely enjoy it. If you love it, definitely read the manga. Did we want to mention what we're watching next week or next 2 weeks because we're taking a break or what?
We won't mention it yet because we are taking a break. I feel like most people won't remember anyway. But yeah, we are taking a break due to the holiday season.
Yeah, the work's getting pretty tough.
Yeah, I know Condor's work's really picking up, and then I've just got usual work and some other things I have to do.
So I guess you'll be surprised.
Yeah, just you'll find out. We've got a couple of things we're juggling around.
Oh, you know it.
You know it. Depends on what is actually over of the current season or not. But yeah, so we're gonna start talking spoilers in a second. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, this is the great time to stop. You can also follow us at Bird Bro Pod on Twitter. Of course, you can find the podcast each and every week, most of the time, at birdbropod.podbean.com and most pod services around the globe. We are now also on iHeartRadio, so you can check us out there if you
iHeartRadio.
Also, we are a little behind on the video podcast. We're trying to get those up as soon as possible, which you can find on YouTube at Bird Brothers Podcast. I'm also on Twitch some at Final Falconberry.
I'm a
We
mod.
have a Discord whose link will be posted on the descriptions on podcast services. You can copy that link, paste it into your browser, and hop in for more fun times with myself and
Come say hi
Condor.
to us in the Discord. Tell us how crappy our opinions are, so we can.
Yeah,
argue
tell us how
out
much
of the
we
server.
suck, or if you agree and we're awesome.
But if you bully
That's
Kaizen,
what
you're
it's
banned.
for. We will not ban Kaizen. That is
No,
like
I'm saying
one of
if
the
you
rules.
bully Kaizen, you're banned.
Oh, I thought you said we will ban Kaizen. I was like, whoa,
No.
hold up, no.
No. If you bully Kaizen, you're banned. That's the number one rule of the server. No bully.
It's more like the joke rule of the server, but we're somewhat serious.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. If you bully that
Anyway.
really delightful man, you will get banned, and I will personally hunt you down.
And now when he watches this, he's gonna be like, you all called me out again. We're gonna be like, Kaizen, just don't worry.
That's
about it.
because
It's
we
fine."
love you, Kaizen. Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Kaizen. This is an anime podcast, and we are getting into spoilers. So spoiler warning. All right, spoilers.
I hate the ending of season 2 so
The
much.
ending is
because
so bad.
we talked about it a bit before the podcast, but basically what happened is so there's this scene. So real quick, what I really love about this show is that the author literally takes the time to make a route for each of the 5 girls that the main character can end up with, of like what could possibly happen. And I love that. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that to happen in the anime, because it'd be so cool to see it and stuff. And then they just made their own fucking ending for season 2. And I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, I get where, from an anime perspective, having to
No,
go all the different
absolutely
routes would be a little
not.
weird.
No, well,
but like,
it would
it's
be
either
weird.
you give
You
each
could do it as
route its own
OVAs.
season.
You
That's
could
true.
do it
You
as
could
a
do it
1
as
hour
OVAs.
OVA. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. Here's what's gonna happen. I have it all figured out in my head. All right.
Okay.
So you know how Furuhashi had her own route with her father.
Mm-hmm.
Kirisu has one. The nurse has one. The maid.
Yeah. Komanami.
Ogata has one. I think Uruka has one too. And they're so great. Like, oh my god, I love the teacher. I love Kirisu so much. It's so beautifully done. I love it. Do you care for spoilers?
No, that's fine.
So basically, the reason why Kirisu is the way she is because she before spoiler alert, the main
We're in the
character's
spoiler
father-
section.
I don't care. I'm saying it again because this is spoilers for the spoilers of the manga, not the anime. So they give it some
Spoilers
credit.
upon spoilers today.
Naruyuki's father was a teacher, and his teacher he teached Mafuyu when she was in school, and basically Mafuyu wanted to be a teacher like his father, and so basically there was this girl who Mafuyu was teaching, and she wanted to play on the piano. She wanted to be like a really good pianist, and she was like supporting her no matter what, like doing her best. But then something really bad happened to the girl, and she got like really scarred and really upset, and she's like, why did you support me in this, teacher? I thought this wasn't going to go anywhere, and you kept supporting me. Why did you do that? I had no talent in this. And she was like really depressed, and that really affected Kirisu a lot. So that's the reason why she ended up the way she was, like cold, and like, if you have talent, you should just go for it. Don't try to focus on anything else. And it took Naruyuki to like open up her heart to be a lot better. And you know what this guy does? You know what this guy does? He
Tell me what this guy
literally
does.
goes out of his way to find that same student. And the student's like doing fine now. She's like she's like in a band, like she's like having fun with her, like being a pianist on a band. She's having fun, and she's like telling that she's like, he literally went out of his way just to find me to tell you this, and it's so sweet, and it's so nice, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. It's so great. And then you want to hear what they do with your best girl, Falcon? You want to hear?
Sure. What do they do with my best girl?
So basically, they're gonna close down the clinic because apparently they're not getting a lot of patients, and Asahi, right? Asumi, thank you. I don't remember her name. I call her senpai. Asumi basically doesn't want that to happen because she wants to like take over her father for the clinic and like be there to help people. But she realized she can't and stuff because she realized she's just like a single person, and it's just been her dream ever since she was a kid. She's actually showing this like picture to Naruyuki of like a thing that she drew, like her and with her father and her mother. Her mother comes back too. She's like overstates or something. And give me a second to remember. Oh, so basically it's raining, and then the picture gets like lost in the rain. It gets all wet and stuff. Basically, it's showing like, oh hey, the dream's gone. Nothing can be done. So then later on, there's a scene in the maid cafe where they're playing doctor, right? And
Yeah.
you know how Asumi is the best mate, so she actually cares for her.
Yeah.
She cares for her patrons because there's a lot of regulars, and literally they have her playing as like the doctor, and then she like starts getting serious about like all the pages. Like there's this guy who's like, "Hey, you've been playing too many games. You should really go to bed earlier and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, you don't have to tell me that." And she's like, "No, I'm serious. You really should like take care of yourself more." And
Yeah.
everyone's like smiling and having fun, right? So then Naruyuki takes her back to the clinic, and he starts like saying, "Hey, you know what you just did back there? You did what you've always wanted to do. So it doesn't have to be right here. You could still be what you want." And you know what this guy does? He literally takes the picture out. He finds the picture on the ground and brings it back to her. She's saying, "Your dream can still be done." And it's just so sweet. And I'm just like, Naruyuki's such a great character. I love it. And
He really is a
we're
good
not
character.
we're not gonna see this stuff in the anime because
Nope.
here's how I pictured it. So there's four more girls because Furuhashi got hers, which was super great, by the way. I really loved it because Furuhashi was the first one. Then it was the teacher, then it was Asumi, then it was Ogata, then it was Uraka. I was figured they would probably do the same way. They get 2 episodes, so 8 episodes,
Okay.
2 for each, like part 1, part 2. Like
Okay, so all the dad stuff was essentially like her route in the manga, or was
that's like the base. It's not like her route for them getting together. It's just more like just for character development for the character.
Okay,
itself.
just kind of like her little arc.
Like basically, she becomes more. She tells her dad and fixes her relationship. Mafuyu becomes more better. There's actually a scene where Mafuyu and Ogata and Fumino they actually kind of like talk and they like kind of understand what's happening. They kind of cry and like hug it out. It's actually super sweet. It's like late in the manga, and she becomes more like caring and understanding. I keep forgetting her name. Asumi basically just keeps on. She understands that she doesn't have to give up on her dream, and she can keep pursuing it no matter what. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, but her dad decides to keep the clinic open on like weekends because that's the only day. Because it's like a big hospital, and they're taking all the patients, and the hospital's closed on weekends, so they keep it open for weekends. The Ogatas I didn't really like that much. Basically, her thing is her grandma. She played games with her grandma. Then her grandma was like, "You can't play games with me anymore," and she was really upset about that. And her grandma passed away. I didn't really like how they handled the Ogata one, but it was still sweet in its own way. It was really cool. And I actually forget the Uraka one, but I think it ended with her confessing her feelings to him first, which leads into the Ebony Princess, basically her route. Which was the first route, by the way. So everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna end up with Uraka," and then it said 1 out of 5 at the end, and it's just like, "Oh, it's gonna be 5 routes for each girls. It's gonna be great." I'm like, "Whoa, it's amazing." But so there's gonna be 8 episodes, and then they could start it with like a joke episode, like a nice, fun, ecchi episode or something. You know how they usually do. Then they could do the teacher, another ecchi episode for 4. They do the Asumi, another one. And then they do Ogata. So 1, 3, 6. We're at 9. So there's 4 episodes left if they do 13. They'll do. I think instead of doing another joke episode, they'll probably go right into the Uraka. I don't know if that'd be 1 or 2 episodes. Probably 2. But then here's the thing, right? Remember how I mentioned about Naruyuki not like understanding what he wants? So you know what this guy does? He realizes that like he really wants to like work hard and like achieve things on his own. So he literally goes to the principal. He's like, "Hey, I don't want the VIP recommendation anymore. I want to work for my goals." Yep.
Wow. Okay.
He wants to work for his goals. He wants to just go out there. He wants to do it himself without like any help at all. Because he's like he gets by helping the girls help him to be more determined to do it. Like they inspire him. That's the word. They inspire him by him inspiring them. So it's really sweet. And he's like, "I don't want that recommendation anymore. I'm going to literally do it on my own. I'm going to study. I'm going to do my best." And it's just really cool that he comes to that like goal. I mean, I found it a little stupid at first. I'm like, "What do you mean? It's literally the whole goal of the show." But it's actually, if you understand it from a plot character point, it's really cool to see him like saying, "Hey, I've been in, what's up?"
I kind of get it, but I mean, the whole point of the VIP recommendation is he did that on his own by doing everything. So I feel like that's kind of.
So this happens after everything I just said. Like the way I said it for season 3, that happens like at the end. So this is how season 3 would probably end. And he's literally seeing how like all the girls have struggled through like their things. Furuhashi with her father, the other ones with their past, Ogata with her past and everything. And it's like all these girls have inspired me to do this. I don't want any shortcuts in life. I'm gonna do this the hard working way. I don't
But I
want
don't feel like that's really a shortcut though.
It kind of is in a sense because he wants to feel like he belongs. Because if you think about it, imagine if I'm like, hey, if you do this for me, you'll get like I'll help you out with something or something. But it's like, now that's a bad example. How do I explain it? You know Naruto, right?
Yeah.
You know how Naruto becomes a Hokage, obviously, at the end of the show. Big spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. But basically, there's a scene where Naruto's like, if there was a shortcut to become Hokage, I wouldn't take it because I wanted to get there the hardworking way, because that's always been the way I've been doing things. It's basically kind of like that. But Naruyuki understands, and again, I'm going to keep saying it. He's literally been inspired by like all the past, all the girls for like all the things that they've done and like all the hard work that they've achieved because of it. And it's like, I'm going to do it on my own too. It's what I want. This is what I want. And I really like that. I thought it was very surprising, but it was really nice and sweet.
Okay.
And that's around the time when the manga ended and started going into the roots. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought that's how season 3 would be. But then they had that stupid ending where they fill it in. And I'm just like, okay, why? Why did they do this?
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
I realized it was universally panned when I like Googled like Bokuben ending, and literally every fan is like, what are they doing? Like, they're ruining everything.
They ruined everything.
And I was like, the manga clearly has to be better. But
it is so much better, dude. I will literally link you the Asumi stuff. You got to read it on your own, man. It is so good. Oh my god. But I mean, other than that, that's really all I wanted to say. I kind of went off on a little bit, but you understand the manga is super well. I really love what they do with the characters. I really love what they do with Naruyuki, with his determination to not take the VIP recommendation and just work hard and achieve it on his own. I mean, obviously, if it was me or you, we would probably go for the VIP recommendation because it's like easier and stuff. But you got to understand, he feels like he can't take the easy way out because he feel like he's been doing that his whole life or something. I don't know. But
I don't know why he would think that though, because he's
trying to support his family. Maybe I worded it wrong. I forget the exact reasoning, but he was definitely inspired by the other girls to not take the VIP recommendation.
That was the thing. It's like, I don't get why he would think he's taking the easy way out, because he's helped support his family since his father's passed away. He's tutoring 4 other people while maintaining his own like excellent. Like, I was like, I don't get how he would think that's taking the easy way, but maybe
because he's not
read the manga, I'll understand.
He's kind of like just doing it, like he's helping the girls, but he doesn't have like a goal. Like, again, that's the main problem. So that's why he wants to make it his goal to get into the college without help. So that's why he doesn't make the recommendation.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I was like, I don't get why he'd say that's the easy way. Like, he did the work, he got the grades, but yeah. Anyway, anything else we really want to talk about spoilery?
I mean, I kind of just talked this whole time. What did you want to say? Anything?
No, I don't really know how much I don't want to hit on that's spoilery. I mean, I do like the fact that Furuhashi's dad couldn't figure out the password to the mom's like thesis or whatever, only to find out
that was like super sweet. I love it. I know I kind of let's talk about that real quick. I really like it, the Furuhashi one, a lot, because it's really cool what Naruyuki does for her. Like, he literally takes her to like the spot and like she's about to talk about the stars and Naruyuki starts talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I kind of started studying it on my bit because you interested me. I'm like, oh my god, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
I can't believe he did that. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, I love how she finally just confronts the dad. Like, I was really hoping that like she would just kind of have this like smart alecky moment where she's just like, I opened mom's file, and do you know how I knew the password? And like, I kind of hope she went off on him, but I like how she ended up doing it better. How they end up trying it out and it works.
It's his name, and her mom like, no, I'm an idiot. I'm not a genius. Sorry.
I loved that so much. That was so great. But yeah, I love the fact that like the dad doesn't want to talk to her about astrology just because of how bad she is at like science and math, or I guess really math. And that she wouldn't be able to do it because she doesn't have that skill set that she needs for it. But then she finally just like tells him like how much she genuinely likes it and stuff. And then she just like plays the video of the mom being like, yeah, that stuff that they think I'm working on, no, that's way too hard for me. I don't get that at all. It's just like, she's like, these are my test scores in high school before I tried to impress you. And you find out she got good at math just to impress him, because I was like, okay, I'm down with this. But then after that, he was kind of like, well, I can't really keep her like he got it. He understood. But yeah, I so badly wanted to be like, maybe you would have known mom's password if you would have talked to me about astrology when I was a kid, or whatever. But like,
big
I was
funny.
like, if you discovered a new star, what would you name it? I'd name it Reiji. Boo, why name it after your dad instead of Beat? Well, because we would have found it. So wouldn't we wanted to name it after the person we both love the most? And it's just like, oh, that's really
so
sweet.
sweet. And that was all but like really bad because
Mhm.
he slapped her like 10 years ago when she was a little kid, and he felt really bad about it, but he didn't know how to
I like that too because
say
it keeps him from being this like father character figure that you just don't like because he ignores her. It's like he feels bad. He doesn't know how to make it up to her, so he just kind of leaves her alone.
Like the manga just puts it out on him to be like the bad guy at first, but then it kind of like shows his side, especially when he talks to Naruyuki's mom. It's like, hey, I'm really worried
and
about
he find
her
out
and
he's
stuff.
like, take this money because you're having to. The mom's like, no, don't worry about it. We got it. Like, she's fine. But yeah, like, let me just shout out to the family. The family was terrific. I loved all of them.
Naruyuki's family.
Naruyuki's family.
Oh yeah, his family was great.
All the younger siblings were great. The mom was great. I loved them a ton. They're even like when they're just at like the festival and Furuhashi and Uruku show up and the mom can tell that they're both kind of crushing on him. She's just like, oh, don't worry, I got this. When he looks back, even the younger siblings are like, yeah, and it's just like, okay. Even just the scene where we're all at the bathhouse and he's trying to wrangle the younger siblings together all the time, but they keep slipping away and they have their treasure,
The show has a lot of good moments, I'll say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
If you were to watch this show, you will definitely have a good moment. More than probably like 5 good moments. There's so many like scenes that are good.
Mm-hmm.
They do it pretty well, pretty translated well, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ogata, I agree, is probably the weakest. Like, I like the fact
again, I don't hate Ogata.
No, I don't either.
Hopefully you don't too, but I feel like they kind of handle her thing really poorly. So maybe if you were to read the manga and you were to read her arc, you'd probably understand it a lot more than I would. It was a little hard to comprehend.
Yeah, because I mean, like, really, she doesn't understand social interactions, and she really wants to play games, and that's really kind of like all of her really in the story of the show, I guess, at least so far. It's like, I really want to play games, but I don't have people to play games with.
And then it's like her quest to like understand like human emotions more, which it
So
does.
she can win games, which is what she originally says. She wants to know it. She knows how to beat people in games.
But then you realize later it's about her grandma and stuff. But the anime doesn't talk about that. The manga does.
Right. But yeah, like, I do like when he first sees her playing games by herself, when she's taking a break from her deliveries. And it's just like, are you saying you're going to beat me in this game? And then you find out he beats her like 30 times in a row or something. And it's just like, oh, she's like, good luck. And it's like, oh, you beat me. It's like, yep.
Oh, you beat me. Goodbye.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing else I can think of unless there's anything else you want to cover.
What? So, okay, this is just new information. This is new information, guys.
New information, breaking news.
They just uploaded a new chapter of the manga literally an hour ago.
Oh, breaking news.
It's confirmed route 6 out of 5. I don't know what this means.
The route where they all get together and have a harem marriage.
I'm skipping through.
Maybe it's the sister, because if the sister seemed like she had some popularity, but then that would just get weird.
Oh no, I think it's just like a nice tame ending where they're all just like talking together.
Okay.
Maybe it's like the canon ending. I don't know. I'm gonna read it real quick, probably after the thing's over.
I kind of like that they have their different routes though, because that way, no matter who's your favorite, you have an ending where they get together, and it's not just like, nope, we picked Uruka, and if you didn't like Uruka the best, sucks to be you. I think that is kind of a nice way to go about it. So if they make like a canon ending where they're all happy, that's cool. But I'd almost would rather be like, you pick which ending you like based out of your favorite person. Like, I thought that was a really nice way of doing it.
I agree. This is a really well done manga, and the anime.
I mean, I know that until you told me, today, but I was like, that's a really cool way of doing it.
The anime did not do it justice. No. I hated the ending. It really sucked. That's why I gave it a 6. Hell, I'd give it lower if the anime was crappier, but it was really good quality in my opinion. So,
like I said, the first season for me, I just really didn't vibe with.
Yep.
Second season improved. But yeah, if we would have stopped, because we were debating if we were going to do both seasons, if we would have stopped at the first season, I totally would have been like, no, this is like a 4. Like, this is a 4.
I'm glad you found some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I liked it more as it went on. But yeah, I was for a while I was like, why are we really watching this one?
Because I said so. That's why.
I mean, like,
it's my turn to pick anime, and you're gonna watch it all.
Of course, I'm gonna watch it all. But no, like, I mean, we are gonna. for the most part, we've picked shows that at least one of us have seen or know about. But there are going to be times that we're going to pick one
Spice
that we
and Wolf was
literally know
one.
nothing about, and we're going to be like, "Oh, was it good? Was it bad? Maybe okay."
Spice and Wolf was one of those that we neither
That's true.
of us watched.
Neither one of us had done Spice and Wolf, but I think otherwise we all have, or like Gundam. I've seen most
you
of it,
watched
but I
Fire
haven't
Force.
finished it.
I watched March Comes on Like a Dragon. I watched Kekai Sensei. You watched Gundam. You watched
Mhm.
Digimon. I think that's it. Yeah, you watched Kawaii Complex. So, yeah.
So you'd seen Blood Battlefield. You'd seen a lot. Of, Spice and Wolf. And
Maybe we got to put more animes we haven't seen. I still haven't thought about my next one. I don't have like 2-3 weeks to decide on it. So
you'll have 2 because we're not doing one this week. And then the next week I'll have one, and then after that, so maybe 3 weeks.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good point to end the podcast episode. We think we've been rambling on for quite a lot.
Yeah, this has been our episode on Bokuben. We Never Learn. It had 2 seasons, so clearly they didn't learn.
And just like the title of the anime, we also never learned when to stop doing this horrible podcast. But thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're glad to hear you.
Thanks for listening.
Hear you. You're not on the. We're glad that you watch it, and we hope to hear from you.
Send us voice messages. We're lonely.
Yeah, we're just 2 lonely guys talking about anime. Best waifus, you know. You at least have, a pet bird.
I totally have a teacher fetish.
Oh, I mean, that's fine. nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been it. Twitter, Bird Bro Pod, YouTube, Bird Brothers Podcast. You can find me on Twitch. Hop in the Discord, though. We have a lot of fun on the Discord. That's always fun. Link should be in the description on your podcast of choice.
I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever time zone, whatever you're listening to.
Yeah, whenever you're watching
take care.
this.
Hey, drink some water.
Go
lay down. Take that nap. Okay, take that nap. You deserve it.
Gatorade. Yeah, take care of yourself. Enjoy the holidays.
Drink the water like I have right here. Enjoy the holidays. Yeah, please enjoy the holidays.
This is going to be premiering on Christmas Eve. Enjoy the holidays. We're taking a break so that way we can enjoy our holidays as well as we can during a pandemic.
Play Genshin Impact.
You always on the Genshin Impact. Gosh.
What can I say?
Anyway,
it's making quite an impact to me.
Anyway, guys, this has been the Bird Brothers Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We hope it's not been too much of a wreck. And hopefully we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Enjoy.